When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. I'm sick with the talk, the pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. US Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Two teams here playing for pride as the final week of the NFL season is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 5 catches, 56 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. There for the sack, Everson Griffin. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
They'll run it with Jones. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
A throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
And the Vikings first down. First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Ready.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Watch the run. Ready.
Give to Cook out of the gun. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Against the pass, they're hoping to trend in the opposite direction because right now they're ranked number 26 in the NFL.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a
rush coming, and he's taken down. Preston Smith, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
It's a big one there for the Vikings. 47 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 14.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. He's got his man. This is Jackson. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, Arnold. Open space inside the 10. It's hauled in by Doxson. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game?
On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone.
Let's go.
He's going to get it running right. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Through a couple of plays, this Green Bay defense is held strong. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And as things start to come into focus here in the final weekend, their future still up in the air. Currently in possession of the 5 spot, but could fall. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have taken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission. That's their challenge. And you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know at the beginning of the season you have multiple goals. They just have one now. Win the game.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. On first down, Arnold. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Back to throw. Arnold. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. It's complete to Diggs. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Operating from the gun, Arnold. It's brought in by Dodson. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Ready? 18, Gator. Big stop, let's go. Get it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
They try again with Cook, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. To try here for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Devontae Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. He's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season, but you read the local paper this morning. There was no talk of that mark. They interviewed him, and he wasn't talking about 1,000 yards. The old cliche focused on this game. If he has a big one, might be able to get the win and the 1,000 yards.
Seems like he just wants to let it come to him, right, as opposed to trying to force it. That's probably the right idea and the right attitude. So game situation, play calling will dictate things. Now, how does he get there once he tries to get hot? Formations, route running, trying to get mismatches for him, different types of routes he will run downfield, short, medium, long. All those things will come into play as he tries to get to that magical number.
14 yards, good for a Packer first down. Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. Jones hit, and the ball's out. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill. Or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Rodgers now to throw. And he's going to go down again. Credit the sack to Corey Legion.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
what's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. They run the counter with Cook. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. From the gun on third down, Arnold completes it right side to Dodson. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 3rd down, Arnold. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Josh Jackson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Those INTs all sting, but you throw one in the red zone, I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you're giving up points now, those are precious, so you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. So we've come upon halftime here. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Again, it's Cook. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Cook. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Lets it fly for Thielen. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered, and he's able to get a hand in and knock it away.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
On 1st and 10, Arnold. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback. So they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him. And he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
First and goal.
Looking to throw. Arnold. And this is Cook with a grab. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive, 1st and 10. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Again, it's Jones. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He sets up the screen to Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Again, it's Williams. And an alley to run. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Robertson. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we signed with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Flipper. Check. Slam.
He's coming, double up. Check. Showing it.
Go. Shoot.
They run again on first down. Cook. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4.
Go. Hey, Mike 50. Hey. Check 52. Deuce. Fair. Get.
On second down now, it's Cook. After the play, not a good sign. Dalvin Cook staying on the ground. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The Vikings on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. An effective 7-yard third down conversion.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to the ground on first down, here's Madison. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run with Madison. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line.
They come out here in the eye. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. T.J. Logan, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Rodgers to throw. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Rodgers' throw is taken in by Jones. And he's got this down to the 35. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Rodgers to throw once more. This one complete to the tight end O'Shaughnessy. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Throwing is Rodgers to Valdez-Scantling over the middle. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Jones. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. On 2nd and goal, standing alone in the backfield is Williams. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Dexter Williams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers get a score closer.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Touchdown, Green Bay.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
They come out here in the eye. They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. Now it's Rodgers. And they're gonna get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now Rodgers. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. On the set. Line 42. Exit, exit.
Here's Madison running on first down. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Going to run with Madison again. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
Whip, 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 whip. Watch the whip. Switch, switch.
Going on the ground with Madison. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
60-or. Get it.
Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here.
I'll also be guard. Brings up
Set. 60 Pittsburgh.
at the 26-yard line.
Double time. Everyone, you got 4 down. Let's go.
They will take the knee here, and they will finish this regular season with a victory.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road. There's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Vikings, it will wind up a .500 season as the win means they'll finish right at 8-8. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for the Packers,